has Syringeon been holding the key to the secrets of Garten of Banban? This video is going to cover not only that, but what we could have in store for us in Chapter 8. Obviously, a lot has changed since we've played the game in Chapter 7 from the beginning of the franchise's history. More secrets, more characters, and what makes this even more confusing, a storyline that seems to be going all over the place. So, hopefully with today's theory, we're going to be able to narrow down exactly what's going on in this story. As I said previous, I think the key is with Syringeon. So if you enjoy Garten of Banban theories, or just theories in general when it comes to horror games, this is the channel to be. Make sure you grab your popcorn and a drink, and let's go ahead and dive in. So we leave off of Garten of Banban Chapter 7 by not only speaking to Syringeon, but he seems like he's keeping a secret from the character. As we wake up on that surgery table, we notice there's two characters in the room with us, one of them being Syringeon himself and the other one being Stinger Flynn. But what Syringeon says next is what makes me really curious.
Oh, good. You're up. The plan worked. But the scepter was destroyed in the process. It's better this way, if you ask me. Nobody should have that much power. Everyone that was brainwashed is back to normal now. And corpses of the naughty ones litter the streets. I don't remember the last time I felt like I wasn't scared for my life. This feels good for a change.
So let's break down what exactly Syringeon is saying here. For one, he says that the scepter has now been destroyed and things are better this way. But if I recall, at the end of Garten of Banban Chapter 6, we needed to find that scepter in order to fix everything. Actually, that was literally Sheriff Toadster's whole mission when things went wrong with Queen Banbalina and Bitter Giggles at the end of Chapter 6. It's also the whole point as to why we even went down into Cityengion to begin with, why we met the naughty ones and so on and so forth. But he claims that everyone that had been brainwashed at the end of Chapter 6, which included most of the characters that have either helped us or tried to kill us along the way, have now been released from whatever was keeping them that way. He also explains that the naughty ones litter the street, or at least their corpses do, which I'm assuming that means that Sir Daddadoo's reign is no longer in charge, which would leave everything in a mismatch. And that's why I said at the beginning of this video that the story seems to be all over the place. If our goal was to find the scepter, and the scepter's now destroyed, but now Sir Daddadoo is no longer in the picture, what does that mean for the future of the entirety of Garten of Banban? What's keeping us from saving the day, and where are our children? And like all great storylines, there now has to be a new antagonist. And I think I know exactly who that's going to be. Obviously, after speaking to Syringeon at this point, you walk around the rest of the surgery tables, and you notice Stinger Flynn seems to be a little bit out of it, almost as if his body has been tranquilized. And I can almost confirm this if you walk over to Opila Bird and the other bird in the cage. They also seem to be put to sleep by something. My theory here is that Syringeon is up to something even more sinister than what we originally thought. And I think we might have just helped him do his bidding and got Sir Daddadoo out of the way for what he truly plans to bring in his evil plan to the kindergarten.
Appealing. Seems like there's something behind me.
Weird. I would just leave it alone. You two should rest.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. Stinger Flynn notices the drawing on the wall is a bit off. It almost looks like something is emerging from behind Banban, or at least the Banban that we've known up until this point in the game. He asks us if it also looks like we can peel this off, and that's when Syringeon changes his tone of voice. He tries to play it cool and pretends like he doesn't really notice it, but we should leave it alone regardless. However, if you go up to that spot and peel it away, that is where the entirety of what we know of Garten of Banban goes distraught.
I don't think that's a good idea. Who knows what could be behind it? Just leave it alone.
As the protagonist begins to peel off the wall, it's almost like Syringeon is pleading for us to leave it alone. He doesn't want us to uncover what's behind that version of Banban. But why is this? That's where one of my theories comes into play. You can look at this in two ways. The first way being that Syringeon is maybe trying to protect us from the truth of this secret Banban. Maybe, even though he looks happy-go-lucky in his picture, he's more evil than meets the eye, and he doesn't even want to uncover that can of worms. Or the second option, and we already know that Syringeon like to do experiments on other people and monsters. What if Syringeon's whole plan this entire time was to create a form of Banban that he felt was more powerful and more able to do his bidding? And that version of Banban is what we've come to see. Obviously, somewhat helpful, but we know his imperfection lies in the fact that he will lose his temper at any given minute and turn into that demon version of Banban that sends everything into an absolute chaotic mess. Was it Syringeon's plan this entire time to cover up what he did in the past, or erase the original Banban that was created from the human scientists a long time ago? But why? What point would he have in doing this? Why on earth would he even try and stash away the blue Banban and not just say he created a replica version of it? We already know that the characters that walk around Cityengion are just failed experiments that he didn't get a good grasp on. And the character that's been exposed in Garten of Banban Chapter 5, which still hasn't come out yet, is one of those misled experiments. We even get a glimpse of this character somewhere in Garten of Banban Chapter 7, as we're running away from him in the dark. We're around that table trying to escape the room that he's in. And if you go back into past logs that we found, he was never supposed to be released out into the public. And that's because Syringeon took it upon himself to make something that he might have felt the need of replacing children. And I believe he's done that with multiple characters. And this is just one of them. The version of Banban that was hidden beneath the demon version.
Play with the devil.
There's a
Doctor's orders.
Never play with the devil. Doctor's orders. And just like that, Syringeon goes from being one of our main allies to now the enemy. Obviously, we have to take it that way. He knocked us out, hitting us with that giant metal arm that he has extended on his body. He did not want us to see this and did everything in his power to play it off, until he felt the need to take physical action against us, which now makes me believe that he is going to be the new and improved antagonist. Now, a couple things could be mentioned. He says never play with the devil, and we already know that the demon version of Red Banban could be considered the devil in this situation. But what if he means himself? He created this version of Banban after all. At least I think so. And if you look at him at the end of Garten of Banban Chapter 8's trailer, you can see the Dravanium peeling away from his face. This looks very similar to the alien-like creatures that were spread around Cityengion, including the one that my brother played in the theater. Now, that kind of gives me the one up here. I can literally go speak to this guy right down the street. And if you ask me, he would tell you he is a part of the same science experiments that Syringeon put out there. But I do think that Banban, or at least the red version of Banban, will come back in Chapter 8. And that's where we're going to get some help. If you look at this scene in the trailer, notice Banban not only takes the blue Banban out from where he's at, but he seems to be friendly in his approach towards him. He even says hi and claims that it's been a while. I don't believe that Banban's the one who put him here, and if you ask me, I think when Banban's not in demon form, he really just wants to be friendly. My theory is that Syringeon is the one that placed him in this basement-like prison. And now that things are getting out of hand, the only way to put an end to Syringeon's plan is to take him out. But let's take it a step further here. We've gotten this far in the game, and we've heard no word of our children, other than the fact that Stinger Flynn has kind of told us to leave it all alone. Does he know something that we don't? Maybe he knew the fact that Syringeon likes to operate on children, and it could be potentially too late for ours. My theory here is that Syringeon has the children held captive, and we are finally going to get to the bottom of that right here and right now. Now, there's some people out there, including this trailer that you'll see here on the screen, where they believe that somehow we are playing as the protagonist, who also is the blue version of Banban. And they claim that if you look at the trailer, the POV of Banban pulling us out of where Syringeon put us is just the pickup of where we're going to begin in Chapter 8. I, however, think this is quite a stretch, as we would have seen some clues pointing to the fact that we have been this blue Banban this entire time. And if that were the case, why would Banban say in Chapter 8's trailer, "It's been a while"? We've been playing with him literally through all of the chapters, so I can almost definitely rule this theory out. Now, what could be more likely is that the new character Brashista, which is also revealed in the secret room of Garten of Banban Chapter 7, but more so in the trailer for Chapter 8, has helped Syringeon cover up multiple characters. I don't think that Blue Banban is the only one that we haven't seen just yet, and if you look at the trailer for Chapter 8, it seems like there's more to the wall art. So does this mean that there's potentially another bad character out there somewhere, or maybe one that's going to lead to more answers? We also have no idea what happened to Zolphius, as he was kind of mixed in between Chapter 7, but no real answers just yet. Was he another failed creation by Syringeon? I almost feel like this is a bit unlikely, as he's been locked away forever, and he doesn't seem to be hostile. Not that the aliens are by any means hostile in Chapter 7, but he could just do whatever he wants, as he's followed us this long. And what makes it even more uncommon is he keeps popping up inside of Stinger Flynn's memories. Notice, we see none of the Syringion's experimental characters in any of those memories, which is why I think the majority of that cast was never shown to the public. That includes some of the bad characters we've seen to this point, including Kitiosaurus and others. So, with that being said, what exactly can we expect from Chapter 8? For one, I do believe Syringeon is going to take over the main antagonist of the game. I don't think the red Banban is going to be hostile. In fact, I think he has a good heart and is going to try and help us along with the new blue Banban. And believe it or not, I think Stinger Flynn also has the right intentions, just doesn't know how to put them into words. More than likely, every character that we've seen in his memories is going to be an ally of ours in the near future, which leaves the new characters that we just haven't seen just yet, and that includes Brashista. That character, in my opinion, is going to be an ally of Syringeon, and as I said before, the whole reason that this cover-up even began, as it seems to be the character that not only paints the murals inside of the kindergarten, but in return changes the narrative by being somewhat of a director. We've seen remnants of this in Chapter 7. As you look through the theater on your way, you will notice there are multiple different movie ads. And if you look closely at those movie ads, they're directed by, you guessed it, Brashista. So obviously, this has set up what could be a propaganda narrative for the kindergarten and the monsters that have not only been experimented on, but reside within it. As I said earlier, I know that this entire storyline is in somewhat of a dismantled mess, but hopefully we get some more answers in Chapter 8. As for Chapter 5, I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that, but I do think the Euphoric brothers have a plan for it. Maybe that's where we're going to get the answer of what happened to the children on that horrible day. But guys, that wraps up this theory here. If you do want to see more theories just like this, do me a big favor. One, make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, but most importantly, make sure you turn on those bell notifications so you're first for awesome content just like this. Also, if you haven't already, comment down below some of your favorite Banban theories that you'd like me to cover on the channel, and I'll make sure to take a look at them. But like I said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, peace out!